Hello and welcome to Miner Talks about an Age of Empires 2 The Conquerors bonus guide. This is all to do with monasteries and monks and all of the technologies that the monastery can get. Now, I did do this video a couple of weeks ago and I ended up getting a few things wrong with it, so this is a redo with the correct data. Thank you to those two people that pointed out my errors in the comment, I really appreciate that. So first of all, this is your monk. The only different monk is the Aztec and Mayan monk, who they look a bit more elaborate. Also, the Spanish get the Missionary, which I'll show you in as soon as we go up to the Imperial Age. So just get you building that, just make sure I can go up to the Imperial Age. Right, so Redemption is 475 gold. It converts most enemy buildings and all siege units, so you know, trebuchets and rams, scorpions, onagers, they can be converted, and I think it's most enemy buildings apart from wonders that can be converted, and walls and towers, I think it is. I did have my book open, my wondrous book. Yeah, it's walls, gates, town centres, monasteries, castles, farms, fish traps, and wonders that can't be converted. So, you know, archery ranges can, universities can, that kind of thing. So let's get that one. Then Atonement, 325 gold. Simply, you can convert enemy monks, which, you know, to convert a holy man to your religion is quite something in real life. So obviously you need a bit of power to do this. Further, 140 gold. This is one of the ones that I made an error with in the previous video. I thought it increased 15% monk speed in all cases, but it only does increases 15% monk speed when they're carrying a relic. So if you're not going to get relics in a map, don't bother getting further. However, if you are, it could always be useful to get further if you've got the gold to spare, because you might want to get a relic back to your monastery as quickly as you can before the enemy realises. Sanctity is 120 gold, quite a useful one to have actually, for quite a cheap price, plus 50% monk hit points. So you can see there 30 hit points, and it will go up to 45. Heresy, converted units die, and this costs 1,000 gold. Now this might be a lot, and this was actually another one that I made an error with in the previous video. It might seem a lot, but what happens is when the enemy tries to convert you, your unit dies. So you could have a whole bunch of villagers somehow trapped inside a wall that the enemy created, and then the enemy can convert all of your units, and you've lost a whole bunch of villagers. And it could even occur for knights and champions, you know, so you would have lost a lot of resources, and the enemy would have benefited from converting your unit. However, if you get heresy, then the enemy can't have your unit. It's still, yes, your unit will die and you would lose it, but the enemy doesn't benefit from it. And then Herbal Medicine, quite a useful one actually, 350 gold, and garrisoned units heal 4 times faster. So if I had an injured knight and I wanted to put him into a castle, then instead of it taking, okay, this is just random numbers, 20 seconds for him to be fully healed, it would be 5 seconds. So that's quite a useful one to have, especially if you're doing an attacking castle match where you try and progress into the enemy's base by using castles. You can then quickly garrison your units, they'll be healed much quicker, and then they can go out and fight, and you'll be able to get rid of the enemy much easier. Now here is your missionary. They get the same upgrades as the monk, so you can see the monk there is on 45 and the missionary here is on 45 as well. Their range, however, is only 7, whereas the monk is 9. But with the missionary, you can see they're much quicker because they are on a donkey. However, one thing missionaries can't do is pick up relics. So if you are playing as a Spanish, I mean, yes, it might be useful to have a missionary just because they can get to a particular place in the map much quicker, but you can't get the relics, so it's always useful to have one monk to sort out the relics if you are going to bother with that. Now let's pop up to the Imperial Age. We've got 4 more technologies here. Faith is 750 food and 1,000 gold, which is actually one of the 2 which is actually one of the technologies that cost something other than gold. So what this does is it adds 50% conversion resistance. I mean, yes, it's 750 food and 1,000 gold. It might seem quite expensive, but for example, you may only just about be able to, your unit will probably just about be converted, I mean, before one of your own army gets to the monk and kills the monk off. What this does is adds half the amount of time to convert your unit, so you've just got that bit of extra time to convert them. So I suppose this and Faith and what was the other one? Heresy. I mean, yes, they'd both be 2,000 gold, 750 food, but it would mean that your unit will take longer to convert, and when they're converted, will die. So the enemy really doesn't benefit from that much at all. So let's get that. Illumination, 120 gold. This is also a very useful one because it adds 50% monk regeneration speed. So when a monk converts a unit, it of course wants to try and bring up the percentage. So you can see down here it says 100%, down here 100%. When they convert a unit, that will drop down to 0 and build up to 100, and it could take 20 seconds to do so. However, with illumination, it would take about 13 seconds to do so. So let's get that. Block printing, 200 gold, simply adds 3 monk conversion range. So 7 for the missionary, 9 for the monk. Now on 7 plus 3, 10, and 9 plus 3, 12, which is actually quite a distance. And now theocracy. Only 1 monk in a group must rest after a conversion. Now it says here 200 gold, but in my book it says 400 food and 800 gold, so a bit confusing, but either way it's 200 gold, meaning Faith is the only technology to have food, something other than gold to research it. So you could have a whole bunch of monks, like 5 monks, and you could play as the Aztecs, for example. And so with your 5 monks, you try to convert an enemy unit. However, all 5 monks will go down to 0%, and you can't quickly convert another unit. However, with theocracy, only 1 of your monks must rest, and the other 4 can quickly convert that other unit to stop your monk from dying. It's as simple as that, really. So those are all the technologies, just get that, from the monastery. This time I hope it's correct. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next part.